Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zengkong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dupten Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today. The longevity Tathagata. Usnisha Vijaya and White Tara and all the deities. Sumu, Danzhen Katso, Tuten Siddhi, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples over the internet, and everybody present here. Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? How do you do? Aisteru Sarange.
Hola amigo.
Hola amigo.
Te quiero mucho.
Te quiero mucho. Sugoi. Ichiban. Kimochi ii. Chumi. Yappy. Bling bling.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. Now I would like to let you know for next Sunday, July 12th, 2020, 3 p.m. there would be Padma Kumara Homa fire offering ceremony. Padma Kumara. So now I would like to let everyone, no need to let everyone know, because everybody knows Padma Kumara. To Buddha school disciples, we all are Padma Kumaras. So we shouldn't put ourselves down. Next Sunday is Padma Kumaras, and every Buddha disciple is a Padma Kumara. So we should not put down ourselves. Now you understand, right? I'm not asking you to become primary supplicant. I'm just telling you, don't put yourself down. That's it. So let everybody know. So the Homa today was extremely supreme. I was thinking in my own eyes, Other than the longevity Tathagata who descended, there were also Ushnisha, Vijaya, Buddha Mother, and White Tara, and they are considered the three longevity deities. And as I said, and all the deities. Who are all the deities? Because when I lift up my head and look straight, I saw innumerable deities, uncountable. One by one they descended. I wanted to count 1 to 40, and I look ahead, and 40 was not even 1/100th of them. So the Homa today is the most supreme Homa ceremony of all the years before. The whole cosmic space is filled with very dense prajna lights, and each deity has prajna light around them. And there are so many deities, so crowded, they all descended. So all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas came without appointments. We were just performing the longevity Tathagata Homa ceremony, and yet the whole space was filled by all the deities. They all came. So the Homa ceremony today was first and foremost. It never happened before. I've never seen it like that before. It's the most supreme. How come?
I don't know.
I don't know. Because it's Sichuan's birthday. Extraordinarily special today.
真的，呀，今天的伏魔法会真的是第一殊胜。
So the Homa ceremony today is truly the most extraordinary, supreme. I've never seen that many deities, really uncountable.
To
open this Dharma talk, let me share a joke. The teacher asked me, "How is your partner?" And my answer, it's play of word of Chinese. So partner sounds like to the elephant and to the pig, to the dog. Yeah, it's just play of word. That's the end of the joke.
这个很妙哈，这个问话的跟答话的。
That's amazing. The question and the answer.
有两个哥们。
There are two brothers, two buddies.
大哥啊。
And he said, "Big bro, I always have this question. Can you help me?"
这个大哥回答
And the big bro replied, "What's going on?"
这位小弟对大哥讲，
And
龙
the guy
虾
said,
算是虾吗？
"Lobster in Chinese
虾
is like dragon
算
shrimp.
是虾吗？
Is it a shrimp?"
这个大
It's
哥
also
回答，
playful in Chinese.
不然
And the big bro replied,
他插的难道是龙吗？
"If it's not a shrimp, then is it a dragon? Because lobster in Chinese is called dragon shrimp.
虾子也算是虾，
So
虾也是
lobster
虾，
is a shrimp
因为
and the
它不
shrimp
是
is shrimp because it's not the dragon."
这个笑话蛮好玩。
That's kind of fun.
女朋友问
The girlfriend
亲爱
asked,
的，最近
"Honey,
我肚子越来越大，
oh, my
是不是
tummy is
怀孕
getting
呢？
bigger and bigger. Am I
男朋友
pregnant?"
回答，
And the boyfriend replied,
男朋友回答，我知道，
"I know.
孩子的爸爸是谁？
Who's the dad
女友问是
of
谁
the？" baby?
男朋友回答，
And she asked,
是
"Who?"
麦当劳、
"It's
肯德
McDonald,
基、
Kentucky,
拿坡里、达美乐、
Domino, Pizza, Napoli,
恶魔鸡排、50
and
兰，
Elmo chicken and Uslan,
全部。另外还有什么？
and
这个珍珠奶茶。
the bubble tea."
女朋友不讲话了，
And the girlfriend didn't say anything.
我的意思是这样，凡事都是有因果。
So what I'm trying to say is that
不要以为
there's
你
cause and effect in everything.
吃空气就会胖，
Don't think that you get fat because of the air,
光喝水就会胖，
that just by drinking water you get
一
fat.
定是有原因的。
If you're fat, there must be
凡事都
reasons
是因
to
果的
it.
关系。好，
It is all cause and effect.
我们来进行这个你问我答。
Now let's do the question and answer.
第一个问题，
The first
师
question.
尊佛安，弟子一
Good
直
Master,
修
peace.
释迦行，
I have always been practicing the 4 preliminary practices, the root guru yoga, and smoke offering.
但是在不久前，弟子生了一场病，
Not long ago, I got really sick,
依然有
and
血气，
after I recovered,
更感觉
I still had asthma, and my brain felt blank.
所以只好休息2个月。
So,
现在慢慢
after
修复，
taking a 2-month break, I am now starting
有
again.
些热能
However, I feel
上
some
来
heat
自天心，
that rises to the brow point.
燥热后又降下来，不知为
This parched heat then descends. I'm not sure what this is about. Have I breached the precept? Could you please explain? Thank you.
这个问题，他一直在修释迦行。
There he is practicing 4 preliminary practices, root guru yoga and smoke offering. And then, not
已
long
经痊愈了，
ago, he got sick
但是还有
and
些
he
气喘，
recovered, but he had asthma
头脑空白，
and the
所以
brain
只好
felt
休息2
blank.
个月。
So he took a break for 2 months.
这个问题，他问是不是有没有犯戒？
The question is, did he breach the precept? I think
这个气喘
being sick and asthma,
我觉得你这个问题也令我 这个头脑全部空白。
Your question make my brain feel blank.
为什么呢？我实在不知道怎么回答你。
I don't know what to say.
不过犯戒应
I
该
don't know how
是
to
因为
answer.
人累了，你不要勉强自己。
Maybe you don't
这个
preach the precept.
修法。
If you're tired, there's no need to force yourself. Of course, when you're sick, you cannot do your Dharma
累
practice.
了，你就去睡觉，
When you're tired, you should sleep.
多休息，
You should
也
rest.
不一定要修法。
No need to practice.
这个不
You
不
don't
算是。
necessarily
如果是
have
因
to
为生病
practice.
而没有
If
修
it's
法，
because you're
那是犯
sick
戒。
and then you don't practice, that's not
那敢
necessarily
在结束上
violating the
有
precept.
热能往上升到天心，
And
一
in
边
the
燥热之后又降下来，
spiritual
这
experience,
个
felt
在
some
这
heat
个
that rises to
灵
the
热
brow
法里
point,
面，
and the parched heat then
本
descends.
来热就会到
In
天
the
心，
spiritual heat,
然后
the
会
heat
降下
can
来。
go to the brow point and
但
then
是有一点，
descends.
你提到是燥热，
But
燥热，
you mentioned it's the
一片
parched
燥热。
heat.
这个燥热的意思是这样子，这个所谓的
So
孔达尼尼，
what
这个着火，
Kundalini or inner fire is
不
warm,
至于让你变成烦躁的
but
这种
it's
热，
not
不至于。
the kind of heat that make you feel
所以这个火
anxious or uncomfortable.
杂的火，
So that kind of fire is called the
这个要注意。
impure fire.
因为不清净的火，你要把不清净的火变
It's
成
like
清净的火，
a mix, an unclear fire, and you have to
变成清
change
净的。
the impure fire to become pure fire
那什么是
or
清净
clean
呢？
fire. And what is
我们常常提
clean
到
or
身
pure?
清净，口
We
清
often say about
意
pure
念清净。
body, pure speech, and pure mind.
你这个时候你可以学习什么叫做身清净。
Now you can train yourself
身子不动
to become
就
pure
是
body.
清净。
When the body does not move, that the
例
body
如
is
我
pure.
们做金刚加趺坐，
Like when we sit in the Vajra position, which means a double cross legs.
第二个手呢，
And the hands,
你也是两个手放在胸前，放在
place
膝下，放在
the
膝
two
下，
hands at
只手
the
放在
navel,
膝下，
below
坚
the
定
navel, and form the meditation
背后的脊
mudra.
椎骨挺直，
And the spine is upright.
要挺得很直，
You have to sit very upright.
两个肩膀尽量的扩张，
And two
尽量
shoulders
扩张，
are also upright, open,
下颚略收压喉结，
and slightly tuck in the
舌底上
chin to press on the Adam's apple. The tip of the tongue touches the upper palate.
哦，这个是第一个，两脚双盘，
The
手结
two
定
legs are crossed. The hands form meditation mudra.
这个脊椎
The spine is straight and upright.
双肩
The shoulders
啊，扩胸，双肩扩胸，
also open
收下颚，
and tuck in the chin.
舌底上颚，
The tip of the tongue touches the upper palate.
身子不动，
And the body is not moving.
这就是身清净。
That's the pure body. of body purity.
就是譬如七支坐，
And it's also called the 7 postures of Vairocana.
就是身清净。
Vairocana 7
什么是口清净呢？
postures. And what is the pure speech or speech purity? Is when you don't speak,
口也不动，口也不动，
when the mouth does not
不讲
move.
话，
You don't talk.
气不漏失，
You don't leak any qi.
你不讲话的时候啊，
When you don't
口
talk,
不漏失，
then your mouth is not leaking
这个时候口
or
就清净。
has no faults. At that time, the speech is pure. And what is a pure mind or mind
意
purity?
念清净呢，可以讲，
When the mind is pure, you don't think about the past
也没有想未来，
and also not about the future. You don't think about the future.
现在你也不想，
And you also don't think about the
没有过
present.
去、现在、未来。
No past, no present,
你
no
的
future.
意念呢，停止在
Your
无念之
mind
中，没有念头，
stays at the no thought state.
也不想说
So
我
you
要
have no
得
thoughts
到什么，
whatsoever.
我要证到什么。
You don't think about what you want to obtain
你这样
or
子的
what you
话，
want to
就是
attain.
身清净。你常常这样子的
This
话，
way, it will
这个
be
时
the
候所
pure
升起的着火，
body and mind.
它就是清净。
And at that time, the inner fire that's generated will also be pure.
所以什么叫身清净？譬如七支坐，就是身清净。
So what is the
什
pure
么是口
body?
清净？
Is the Vairocana 7 posture. What is the pure speech?
也
When you
不持
don't
咒，也不念
talk
头，
and you don't chant mantra, you don't
也
chant
没
the
有胡
Buddha's
言乱
name,
语。就是
and you don't talk.
什么是意念
nonsense.
清净呢？
That's the pure speech. And what is
你
pure
没有想
mind?
过去的事情，
You don't think about things of the
也没有想
past,
未来的期望，
and you don't think about your hopes for the future,
也不去想现在在做什么，
and you don't even think
也
about
不
what
正
what
想说
you're
你要证
doing
到什么。
now or what you want to attain. What
这个时候就是真正的意念清净。
at that moment that would
常
be the
常这样
true
子做，
pure mind.
得到的接受，
If you often do that and you
热能
have
上升的
spiritual
天气，
experiences
然后又下降，
like the heat that rises to the brow point and then descends, the
身
heat
体的着火
would be a cool
是清净
warm,
的着火。
and the inner fire that's generated would be a pure
第一
inner
个问
fire.
题的解答。
That was the answer to the first question.
在过去，第二个问题，阿难
In the
尊者
past,
为
Ananda
劝请释迦牟尼佛久住世
failed
间，
to beseech Sakyamuni Buddha to stay in samsara and not to enter parinirvana.
众多佛弟子之遗憾。
This is the greatest regret of Buddha's followers.
身为真佛中弟子，
Now, as a
每
true
天
Buddha
就应
disciple,
该如何修持，
what
实修
should we
才能够
do every day? How to practice so that we can gather the power of all
寿命
disciples
的障碍
to eliminate the hindrances to Grandmaster's longevity?
这个事情呢？哎，有啊，现在其实有很多弟子啊，我们每次
Yes.
做法会
There are many disciples now
祈请师尊
that
健康长
for
寿，
every ceremony they pray Grandmaster to be healthy and live a long life.
也
And
就是在
today, in performing the longevity
在帮助师尊。
Buddha Homa, it's also to help Grandmaster.
如何修持
how to practice and to apply so we can gather the power of all disciples to eliminate the hindrances of Grandmaster's longevity. She's very caring to Grandmaster. Longevity and health are extremely important. They want Grandmaster to be seated here to give Dharma teaching. Every time you do your Dharma practice, you can perform a merit dedication. You can add to your merit dedication. Many people, if many people do the same merit dedication, it would generate great power. That's why I said that group practice is very important. The power of a group practice would be much greater than the individual practice. Because everybody lives at different places, so if you can add to your merit dedication, you dedicate the merit to Grandmaster so that Grandmaster can have good health and live a long life, and to be in samsara for a bit longer. That's good enough. And the key point is in your real practice. If you have done the real practice and you do the merit dedication, then that you would generate the individual power. And if everybody does the same thing, then it would collect all of it, then to become a great power. I remember Lamdre went to hell to save his mother because his mother was in the hungry ghost realm. Lamdre because his mother was in the hungry ghost realm. She could not eat. Whatever she tries to eat would become fire. And Lamdre went to hell and saw his mother suffering, and he tried to feed her with food. But every time the food touches her mouth, it becomes a burning ash. So although he had great transcendent power, he could not do anything and had to return to samsara and told Sakyamuni Buddha. So Sakyamuni Buddha told him that all you could do is to gather the power of all the Sangha to bardo deliver your mother, so that she can be delivered from the hungry ghost realm. Your own individual power will not be enough. Although you have great transcendent power, but your individual power will not be enough to bardo deliver your mother. You have to gather the power of all people in order to bardo deliver your mother. So it became that a universal deliverance of the mid-year. So you gather the power of all the ordained Sangha member to perform bardo deliverance. So that means that an individual's power is not enough. You have to gather the power of everybody. So, in order to eliminate the hindrances of Grandmaster's longevity. So that was the answer. Next question. I've had this question for a long time. Is there a difference between praying for Grandmaster's blessings when we practice at our altar at home and asking for blessings personally from Grandmaster in Seattle? Because I have had this persistent problem, and when I went to Seattle and received blessing from Grandmaster, I was able to maintain my pure thought for longer, about 1 to 2 months. However, when I do my daily practice at home, I always feel it's quite topsy-turvy, and it is very difficult to settle my thoughts, to keep the pure thought. Why is this? Is it because my karma is too heavy, or lack of pure faith, or my inability? And how should I correct the situation? Although I know that the set of practice should include the beginning part, main part, and the ending part of the practice, but if I don't have much time that day, or is it too late? Can I just practice the main part? Or is it better not to practice at all? Because if I force myself to practice the whole set, I would just end up falling asleep from beginning to end. I also heard someone said that faraway water cannot help with the fire at hand, but Grandmaster's Dharma body fills the whole cosmic space. Will there be such a problem then? Thank you for your teaching. If she comes personally to get blessings, she could maintain it for 1 to 2 months. If just doing the daily practice at home is all quite messy and disorderly. Of course, receiving blessing personally has greater power. You come to Seattle and ask for blessing, that would be greater power. So if you are able to come to Seattle to ask for blessings, that would be the best kind. Otherwise, you concentrate and practice and visualize that Grandmaster is sitting on top of your head, you will receive the blessings all the same. Let me tell you, many people dream of Grandmaster giving blessings to them in their dreams. You have to learn this. If you live far away, like in Southeast Asia, you cannot come to Seattle every 1 to 2 months for blessings, right? But if you concentrate in your prayer, if you're single-minded and pray, it's the same. Grandmaster will enter into your dream and bless you. And the blessings in the dream and blessings you receive physically is the same. They are the same. That's also very powerful. So Dharma body would be there with the split of a second.
上个
In a
礼
split
拜
of a second. Last
上个礼
Friday,
拜是吧？是那个李信珠上师的那个头七，是上个礼拜五吗？是上个礼拜
the 7 days after
上
Master
个礼拜
Li
我是
was
在画
Friday,
画画。
last
礼拜五
Friday.
的下午5点多的时候，
Friday
有人在那
afternoon,
边
I was painting
我画画的时候啊，
in the office,
在中委会办公室里面，
at the Tripura Foundation office.
都
There
听
were
到
many disciples
这个
that
打
heard me
哈欠的
say,
声音，打哈欠本来
yawning with
打哈
loud
欠的过程
sound.
口张开，
Yawning usually
好像
produces no sound.
但是我那打哈欠的声音哦，
You just
很大
open your
声
mouth and breathe
非常大
in. But that day, I was yawning very loudly.
你有听到我打哈欠的声音？
The Reverend BN
大声，而且
was
打得
my
我好像
helper
当时在中委会办公室的
for my painting.
啊，
How loud was it?
数不清了，数不清的哈欠，
Many, many
而且
times.
很大声，
It was very loud.
一哈连办公室那边都听到。
And when I yawned, even people at the other office could hear
打哈
it.
欠的这个怪声哦，
There was a strange noise of the yawning.
是李信珠上师来。
Let me tell you, that was Master Li Xingzhu that came.
掌声一个。
Just one applause.
我问他，
I
是
asked
吗？
her,
已经把你超度到
I have
到
Bardo
这个
delivered
西
you
方极乐世界
to
了
the
吗？
Western
已经
paradise.
坐着白莲花到了西方极
You
乐世
have
界了，
sat on the
为
White
什么你又回
Lotus
来？
and went to the Western paradise. Why did you
That's
come back?
一
And she
念
said,
一念轻，一念轻，
so just with a thought,
一念轻，他就可以到。
and she'll
他只要一
be
念轻，
there.
他就可以到。
With a thought,
这个是化身。
she'll get there. That's a Dharma
这
body.
个李信珠上师哦，
And Master Li Xingzhu told me,
他在86岁的时候，
when she was
身体非常
86,
虚弱
she was extremely weak.
骨头全身都痛，
It was painful all over
而且
her
有这个
body, in the
是
bones.
胰脏的
And she had
非
a
常痛，
pancreatic cancer, extremely painful.
身体全身都不舒服，
She
全
felt
身都痛。
discomfort and
但是
pain
自
all
从
over
离
the
开
body.
身体以后，
And when she left her
全部消失
body,
掉，
the pain all
而且
disappeared.
那个灵结全部回来，
And the
那
spiritual
种那种灵
state
感
all
那
came
种
back.
灵结的那种灵感全部回来。
All the
那时候啊，他告诉我，
lucidity and the mental
身体
states
才
return.
是众生的业障，
And she told me that the
身体
body
才是众生的业障。
is
只要你
the
人
karma
这个
of
灵
sentient
念
beings.
离开肉体，
So when the soul leaves the physical body, you became
样子
very
也不一样，
lively, and you don't
变
look
成年轻
old,
了，
you became young,
头上还戴着冠，
and
相
you're
貌
wearing a
非常的
crown
庄严，
and looks very
全
dignified,
身放光，
and the whole
而且
body
坐在白莲
radiates
花上
light,
面，
seated on top of a white
非常
lotus.
好的，
It's really
一
great.
切都是非常亲近，
Everything is
很
very
微妙。
pure,
他
really
从自己
marvelous.
的心中啊，在看到自己的内心，
And inside her heart, she can
他
see
从
her
自己的
inner
心里
self.
突然间看见自己的真心。
So from her
李信珠上
mind,
师跟我讲，
she all of a
他
sudden
从
she
自己的
saw
心
her own true
看到
nature.
真正的真心在那。
So Master Li Xingzhu told me
他讲原来啊，肉体
she saw her
才是那
true
个头
nature
类，
inside her own mind. And she discovered that the physical
肉体
body
才是
was
自
a
己真正
burden,
的头类。
a true burden to us.
他那时候啊，整个身体都是非常好，一离开肉体，
So as
他
soon
整个
as
体都
she
变年轻
left the
了，
body,
变
she
青春，
changed. She became
而且
young
全
and
身发光，
youthful,
头
and
上
she
有白发，
radiates light all over her body, and she's wearing a crown
地下有莲花座，
and seated
他
on a
只要一个
lotus
想念，他就到了，
throne. And with a thought,
一个
she'll
念
be
头
there.
他就到了。我问说你为什么回来？
I
他说
asked
念
her,
经，因为是头七，
why did you
所以
come
他回
back?
来。
Because it's the 7 days after her
他
passing,
还告诉
so
我
she
一
came
些事
back.
情，
And it's just with one thought. She's
所以呢，法身
there.
无所不在。
And she also
到
told
了
me
西
other
雅图
things.
亲自求主
So
咒，
Dharma bodies are everywhere,
当然就
omnipresent.
是现实世界
If
的
you
加
come
持，
personally to Seattle and request for blessings from
是真的，
Grandmaster,
也
of
能够在
course
梦
that's
中
very
加持
realistic.
你。
But
另外
Grandmaster can also give blessings in the
专
dreams.
一的祈求，
And on top of that, if
专一
you
的
are
祈求，一样会加
single-minded
持你，
and
一样会有力量。
wholehearted in your praying for the blessings, and the same
每一
Grandmaster
个
would
人到
bless
了
you,
这个上
and
古世界，
also
到
the
了
same is as
他的
powerful.
业力都是很重，他真的业力。
Most people who come to samsara would have heavy karma.
那当天的时间不够，时间
If you
真
don't
的
have
很晚，
much time that day or it's
可
already
以
very
实
late,
修正行吗？可以。你实在
can
没
I
有时
just
间，
practice the
你
main
就修
part?
正行，
Sure. If you really don't have
或
time.
者干脆不要修。我认为
Or is it better not to practice at all? I think it's better if you just do the main part.
持咒、
Visualize,
入
mantra
三昧地
chanting, enter
入
samadhi.
三昧地，很想睡了，
And
然后
then when
再下去。
you're really sleepy in your samadhi, then you just get up
啊，
and
这
go
个
to
是
sleep.
非常重要。
And then you just go to sleep.
这个常常听人家讲，盐水救不了净佛，法身偏满西。
I also heard someone said
没
that
有
faraway
这个问
water
题，
cannot help with the fire at
没有这
hand.
个问题，
But the
因为你
Grandmaster's
信徒
Dharma
上师
body
的
fills the whole cosmic
这个
space.
经
No
验，
problem,
我
no
就告
such
诉你，
problem. And because
法
of the
身
experience of
就是
Master
这
Li
个法身
Xingzhu,
非常
let me
巨大，
tell you that Grandmaster's Dharma body is
非常巨
gigantic.
大，
It's huge
而且呢，非常的
and
这个偏满，巨大
omnipresent
而且偏满。你只
everywhere.
要专一的祈求，一定会给你加持。
Whenever you are wholehearted in your prayer, then I will definitely give you blessings.
这是一个老师啊，
A
给
teacher
那个出题目给学生填，
give a
给学生填。
topic
那么他是想上，老师是
to
想
let
上
the
去，
students
学
to
生
fill
下
in.
一句。
So the teacher would
老
write
师
the
写了
beginning
三
part of
个
the
臭
sentence
皮匠，
and the students have
学
to
生
fill
填
in the last part.
味道都一样。
This is all Chinese things.
穷则独善其身，学生填的是富则妻妾成群，妻妾成群。老师写的是天若有情天亦老，学生填的人若有情死得早。
If the heaven has
老
feelings,
师
then
写的是
the heaven
葡萄
too
美酒
becomes old.
夜光杯。
When the human has feelings, you die fast.
美女一大堆。老师填的是想当年金戈铁马，学生填的看今朝死缠烂打。老师写的是两情若是长久时，这个学生填的正是应该同居时。老师写的是书到用时方恨少，同学填的是钱到月底不够了。老师填的是清水出芙蓉，学生填乱世出英雄。老师填同问君能有几多愁，学生填
Ask the gentleman how much grief is
一
there
壶二锅头。
to string up
这个更绝了。
a pint of
东风
white
无力
liquor. Yeah, it's only
学生填的是
meaningless.
人生故现古今完。结果语文老师气得温堂。
And the teacher fainted.
跟大家讲何所集。
Now,
四梦共
I'd like to explain what accumulation,
何所集它这样
the
子。
four channel precious palaces,
何所
etc.
集？你所有的气是集在哪里？告诉你，
All of your qi accumulates at
在喉
the
轮，
brow chakra, throat
在你的
chakra,
心轮，
heart chakra,
在你的际轮，
and navel chakra.
这个是四个宫殿。
They
四个
are the
宫殿
four
四种
palaces
气。
with four kinds of
上
qi.
回提到四种气，一个
I have
柔的
mentioned
气，
about four kinds of qi.
在
The
眉心，
gentle qi
柔
at
的
the
气
brow
在眉
point,
心，在眉心。
at the
一
brow,
个中柱气在哪里？
and
在
the
你的心。
neutral qi is at the heart,
一个刚强的气在哪里？
and the heart and strong qi
在际轮。
at the
刚
navel
强的气在
chakra,
际轮。另外还有一个燃气，
and
燃
the
强的气
burning
在哪里？
qi
在不在喉轮？也可以讲在喉轮。但是
not
火
at the
旺
throat
气，
chakra, or we can also say it at the throat chakra.
那个叫做火
It's
旺气。
called the fire accompanying
上
qi,
行气、
upper
下行气、
qi, lower qi,
中柱气、
the neutral
火旺
qi,
气，
and the fire accompanying qi.
这是四种气。
Four kinds
昨
of
天
qi.
昨天讲的四种气。
The four kinds of
一
qi
和
that we
集
mentioned
呢，
yesterday.
心气加
And
空
B,
心，
what accumulation relied upon? That the mind qi,
甘露之
10
境分
dakas
表
and
五
dakinis.
行负
The
重，
five ambrosia
一起
represent the
同
five
计出
dakas,
气表
and the
五
accompanying
空
five
行负重。
qis represent the five
如
dakinis.
此，云何说气一界尽分
So
二者
why
为
these
境界，
two, qi and ambrosia, are
别
called the
所
accumulation period
是因之故。
separately? Because they are the
何
cause.
故为因？
Why are they the
其
cause?
原属谓
Because at the
生
mundane
有肉
position,
身之齿
it generates
所
the
的
teeth, claws,
到位之
etc.
极界时，
of the
生
leaking
禅
body.
定，
At the
故
path
为因。
position, it generates
以
meditation,
清净果位时，
and at the
以
pure
界
fruition
尽分
position,
能
the
生
area Amrita can generate the rainbow
肉
light,
身，
marvelous
相好
dignity
庄
of
严
the
故为因。
non-leaking body.
他这边呢有讲到五种气，表什么意
So
思？
it talks about the 5
五种气
different kinds of qi,
代表的悟空行负重，
also represent the 5 dakinis.
心气、五甘露、
Mind qi,
都有
5 ambrosia.
五甘露代表的悟
The
空
5
行
ambrosia represent the 5 dakas.
气，代表
The
的
5
悟空
qis
行母。
represent the 5 dakinis.
如此呢，云何说气一界境，分二者
So
为寂静？
why these two are
其实是
called the
一样，
accumulation period?
这些都是
Separately, they are the
心
cause.
气
Actually, it's the
五
same.
甘露，
So
都是修
sin,
行的原因。
mind
都是修
qi,
行的原
and
因
the 5
何
ambrosia,
故为因呢？
they're all the
其
cause
也
for
然所
spiritual
谓，
cultivation.
就在事实
Why are
上
they the
面，
cause? Because at the
我
mundane
们的身体
position,
会长出牙齿、
our
爪
body
爪，
will
在道位上
generate
它会
teeth,
变成
claws,
禅定，
etc. At the
所
path
以这个
position, it becomes
身体
meditation.
也就是修行的因。
So body is the cause of
在清
spiritual
净果位的
cultivation.
时候啊，
At
当
the
你
pure
完全清
fruition
净，
position, when you're
这个
already
时候能
completely
够生
pure,
出红
then
无漏身，
you
相
can
貌光明，
generate
故为因。
the rainbow-like,
我刚刚
marvelous
提到那个解
dignity
释，
of the non-leaking
李
body.
信珠上师
I have explained it. Master
看他
Li Xingzhu,
在最后的时候，我见他最后一面，
the last time I saw her, she
那个
was
帮助他走
leaning
路，
on the roller.
身体非常的虚弱，
She was
两
extremely
个眼
weak,
睛都模糊，头
and
滑翘。
her eyesight
他
were
告诉我，
very
全身
fuzzy
血都在痛，
and completely silver hair, and her whole
全
body
身的
was
关节
in
骨裂，
pain,
动也不能动，
joints
每
and
天很累
bones,
很
and
辛苦，
extremely painful. I could not
又
move,
痛又病，
extremely tired and
身上又有
miserable, and so
但是他离
pain
开
and
现
sick,
实
and
的
she
时候，
also had cancer at 86. But when she
他是完
left,
全变，他变得又年轻
she completely
又
changed.
庄
She
严又
became
漂亮，
young and dignified
头上
and
戴着宝
beautiful,
冠，
and she was
身
wearing
上放
a
着亮光，
jeweled crown. Her body emit a bright
莲花
light, and the
莲花
lotus
撑着他的身体，
holds
却
her
非常的庄
body.
严，
She's
佛
very
菩萨
dignified, just like the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
所以我讲了，我们身体是一个
So
重
I
担，
have said
但
that
是
our
身体
body
也
is
是
a
一个修
burden,
行的因。
but the body is also the
大家
cause
知道甘露
for
是什么？
spiritual cultivation.
改天再跟大家讲那个，大家也知道，
We all know what the 5 ambrosias are.
代表
Most
国
people know. They represent the Buddha fathers or dakas,
空行，
and the 5 qi
代表空行。
inside our body represent the 5
这个是
dakinis,
都是修行的因，我们身
represent
体
the
也是修行。
dakinis.
因为
So
你有
our
修
body
行，
too is the
你将来
cause for
所得
spiritual
到的，
cultivation.
就像理性之上师
And
一样，
because you cultivate
全身
spiritually,
发亮发光，
what you obtain would
法
be
身
like
无
Master
所
Li
不在。
Xingzhu. The whole body would radiate light, and the Dharma body is
这个
everywhere.
讲了一个因，一合集，
So
为
that's
什
the
么要
cause.
心气加空行负
What
重？
accumulation
因为
relied
心
upon?
气也
Why?
是空
It has to be the mind
象
qi.
征空行负。
The mind qi
这
symbolizes
段
the
解释就
dakas
到这里。
dakinis.
这是一个笑话啊！
This
绕
is a
山路，
joke.
司机开得很快，我心里有些怕。于是呢，
Driving around the
对
mountain,
司机讲：
the driver drove really fast and I felt quite nervous. So I tried to speak nicely to him like, "Oh, Mr. Driver, big bro, your skill was really good. You drive so fast even at this roundabout mountain roads." And his answer shocked everybody in the car and froze them because the drivers left driving on these mountain roads all have good skill, driving skill, because the one with the less good skills all died. The teacher asked Xiaoming, "So this test, did you copy everybody? The whole thing? Did you copy the whole thing?" And Xiaoming replied, "Not the whole thing." "So which one that you did not copy?" And Xiaoming replied, "Yes, my name." Actually, he copied everything else. There's a restaurant that had a parrot right at the door. Whenever there's a customer, he would say, "Hello, welcome." And there was a regular customer that thought maybe I would just go and really like sneaked in, and I wonder what the parrot would say. And one day he did. And the parrot instead said, "Oh my God, you scared me. You shocked me." Parrots are smart. If he ran and sneaked in, he did not have time to say that. He just said, "Oh, you shocked me." So, when we talk about Lamdre, actually we also talk about cause and effect. We have the cause for spiritual cultivation, and you practice and gather all these causes, and in the future where you have attainments of clear light radiance, and that means you have attained the fruition. If you don't have the causes for spiritual cultivation, there is no way that you would attain any fruition. This is all cause and effect, right? So just now, we said why we want to accumulate the mind and the qi in order to cultivate spiritually. The reason, because all of those are the cause of spiritual cultivation. And without these causes, you are always in the rebirth cycle. But once you have and gather the causes for spiritual cultivation, then you would be able to attain fruition. So what we talk about today is you reap what you sow. So whatever that you want to get, you have to plant it. This is like spoken by Hu Si. So when you plant the beans, you get the beans. When you plant the melons, you get the melons. Lamdre, path and its fruit. And because of the path, you are able to reap the fruit. So that's the meaning. Now that's all for today.